Picture this. It's Thursday night. You're not going anywhere. Not because you have nothing to do, but because you refuse to miss what happens next. That's the power of television. For decades, TV was the thing you had on while doing something else. Background noise, filler content, the poor cousin of cinema. Then everything shifted. Shows became darker than movies. Characters became more complex than anything Hollywood could fit into 2 hours. And suddenly, waiting a week for the next episode felt like torture. Today, we're ranking the top 10 most popular TV series of all time, measured not just by ratings or views, but by something bigger: cultural domination. These shows didn't just get watched. They got obsessed over. They sparked debates, launched careers, broke the internet, and in some cases, literally changed what we thought television could be. By the end of this countdown, you might realize the show you thought was number 1 isn't even close. Let's dive in. Number 10, Friends, the show that never left. 6 people, 1 apartment, a purple door that became iconic. When Friends premiered in 1994, nobody predicted it would still be generating billions in revenue 30 years later. But here's the thing. Friends isn't just a sitcom. It's a time capsule of comfort. It's been streamed in over 100 countries, translated into dozens of languages, and somehow still finds new fans every single year. Gen Z discovered it on streaming and fell just as hard as their parents did in the 90s. Ross and Rachel, Monica's competitiveness, Chandler's sarcasm, Joey's, well, Joey. The show proved something Hollywood keeps forgetting. You don't need explosions when you have chemistry. We Were on a Break is still being argued about in 2026. That's staying power. Number 9, The Big Bang Theory, when nerds took over. For scientists, One Waitress, and the unlikely rise of geek culture. In 2007, a show about physicists obsessed with comic books didn't sound like must-see TV. But The Big Bang Theory became one of the most watched sitcoms in history, pulling in 18 million viewers per episode at its peak. It did something radical. It made intelligence funny. It made nerd culture cool. And it gave us Sheldon Cooper, a character so beloved that he got his own spin-off. From Dungeons and Dragons to string theory, the show brought subcultures into the mainstream and proved that smart and popular aren't opposites. Bazinga entered the dictionary. Enough said. Number 8, Money Heist, the heist that conquered the world. A red jumpsuit, a haunting mask, and one impossible plan. Here's a wild story. Money Heist was canceled in Spain after 2 seasons. Then Netflix picked it up, and it became one of the most watched non-English series in history. Suddenly, people everywhere were humming Bella Ciao, wearing dolly masks for Halloween, and debating which character was the smartest. Money Heist shattered a belief Hollywood clung to for decades, that subtitles kill audiences. Turns out, great storytelling has no language barrier. Number 7, The Walking Dead, humanity's real enemy. The dead are walking, but they're not the scariest thing out there. Zombie movies existed long before The Walking Dead, but this show turned the undead into a decade-long obsession. At its height, it was the most watched cable series in TV history. Over 17 million people tuning in live, week after week. But here's what made it brilliant. The zombies were never really the point. The show asked a darker question. What happens to morality when civilization collapses? When there are no laws, no consequences, no society, who do we become? Rick Grimes didn't just fight walkers. He fought the worst parts of human nature, and we couldn't look away. Number 6, Squid Game, the game that stopped the world. 456 desperate people, 6 childhood games, 1 brutal truth. In 2021, a Korean show about debt-ridden people playing deadly children's games took over the planet in a way no one saw coming. Within weeks, Squid Game became Netflix's most-watched series of all time. Red Light, Green Light went viral on TikTok. Halloween costumes sold out. The Dalgona Cookie Challenge trended worldwide. But beneath the blood and chaos was something deeply uncomfortable. Squid Game held up a mirror to capitalism, inequality, and desperation. It wasn't just entertainment. It was a global conversation. Number 5, Stranger Things, nostalgia meets terror. Bikes, walkie-talkies, and a dimension that wants you dead. Stranger Things took every 80s reference you loved, E.T., The Goonies, Stand By Me, and mixed it with genuine horror. The result? A show that appealed to every generation. Parents watched for the nostalgia. Kids watched for the monsters. Everyone watched for 11. It revived Kate Bush's career 37 years after her song was released. It turned child actors into megastars. It made Hawkins, Indiana a pilgrimage site. And when that synth theme drops, you know something's about to go sideways. Number 4, Breaking Bad, the perfect tragedy. A high school teacher, a terminal diagnosis, and the birth of a monster. If you ask critics, writers, and filmmakers what the greatest TV show ever made is, the answer is almost always the same. Breaking Bad, near-perfect ratings, a finale that stuck the landing, and a character arc so precise, it's taught in screenwriting classes. Walter White didn't just turn bad. We watched, episode by episode, as he justified every evil choice, until there was no going back. This wasn't heroes versus villains. This was a masterclass in how good people become monsters, and we rooted for him anyway. That's the genius. Number 3. Sherlock. Deduction as adrenaline. The world's greatest detective, reimagined for the smartphone era. Sherlock Holmes had been adapted 1,000 times, but Sherlock did something different. It made being smart look impossibly cool. Benedict Cumberbatch's rapid-fire deductions were visualized on-screen like action sequences. Martin Freeman's Watson wasn't a sidekick. He was the audience's anchor to sanity. Episodes felt like feature films. Cliffhangers became global events. Remember the "how did he fake his death" theories? Sherlock proved that intelligence, wit, and style could be just as thrilling as explosions. Number 2. Game of Thrones, the show that ruled a decade. Dragons, betrayal, thrones, blood. For nearly 10 years, Game of Thrones didn't just dominate television. It owned pop culture. It was the most pirated show in history. It turned Sunday nights into global events. Social media exploded after every twist. Water cooler conversations became battlefield debates. Red weddings, purple weddings, dragons burning cities. A throne literally made of swords. Yes, the ending divided the fanbase. But here's the truth. Its cultural impact is undeniable. Game of Thrones proved that epic fantasy could be mainstream. It made HBO a streaming giant. It changed what event television meant. Winter came, and TV was never the same. Number 1. The Simpsons, the immortal yellow family. Over 35 seasons, 750+ episodes, and still going. Let's be honest, when you think most popular TV show of all time, you probably think of something more recent. But The Simpsons is in a league of its own. It's the longest-running scripted show in history. It's been translated into dozens of languages. It's shaped generations of comedy, animation, and satire. From Donald Trump's presidency to smartwatches to autocorrect fails, The Simpsons predicted it all. Homer, Marge, Bart, Lisa, Maggie. These aren't just characters. They're cultural DNA. If popularity is measured by longevity, influence, and sheer reach, nothing else comes close. These shows didn't just give us something to watch. They gave us something to feel, to argue about, to bond over. They made us laugh, cry, gasp, and yell at our screens. They launched 1,000 memes. They made actors into legends. They changed what we thought TV could be. And somewhere out there, the next legendary series is already being made. Maybe it's streaming right now, waiting for the world to catch on. So tell me, what's your number 1? Drop it in the comments. Defend your choice. Start a war if you have to. And if you love this countdown, smash that like button, subscribe, and stick around, because the next video might just blow your mind. Until then, keep watching.